We talked about navigation directions. You guys are gonna have to remind me.
No, not really.
Uh,
Oh gosh.
like, we got northeast, southwest here.
Aviation. Don't.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be like airplanes and ships today, but, like, do you guys know what angle? Okay, anyway, I'll just tell you, and you guys can tell me if you heard this before. So when we're doing navigation like northeast, southwest, what they use is north as 0 degrees, and then it goes clockwise. So east would be like a 90-degree heading. They would use the word heading, or they might say 90 or whatever. Anyway, so this is 90 degrees, this is 180, and this is 270. Okay, so north would be, due north is 0 degrees, and like if you're 1 degree off, that would be like, 359 degrees. So we haven't done this before?
I have, but not.
Oh, Sam.
Oh, in aviation.
You didn't actually do trig, did you?
No, but we did do the compass stuff. A lot of compass stuff.
All right. So we'll just jump in and learn to swim by throwing you in here. Number 1, draw a picture of 70 degrees. It's just 70 degrees. All right. So where do you guys think 70 degrees would be at?
It's like a little bit above the 9.
Not quite east. I think they say something like east by northeast or something like that. I'm not really a professional in that sense, but anyways, be a little bit short of 90, right? Like 7/9 of 90, 70, about right there. So we just gotta make a little bit a sketch. I'll do this, 70 degrees right there. So where would 340 degrees be? Yeah, north by northwest. So northwest, like directly northwest, would be like 45 degrees after. It would be like 315. So anyway, yeah, 20 degrees short of 360. So be a little bit short of 360. You guys are taking Mr. Totino's Bible?
Not all of it.
You're not?
No.
No one's got 100 on the test we're taking today. No one ever has gotten.
Oh, no one ever. I was going to say, how has anybody gotten 100 if they haven't taken it?
Maybe you guys could be first.
You could be the first.
It could be Leo. It sounds like Leo.
Yeah.
It's
It's up to you now, Leo.
And then he'll be like, it's gonna be the hardest one of the year.
Just don't get nervous.
Yeah.
How many questions is it?
Too many. How many did you say? 100? Something like that.
Seriously?
Yeah, sure.
What?
I heard 800.
Yeah, I think I killed this. It's probably like 100 something. Yeah.
Dude.
I could be the gunshot maker.
Well, no wonder if there's 100 and some questions. It'd be already in there. 100. Number 5. So a ship A sights ship B on a compass bearing of 80 degrees. So ship A sees ship B at 80. So which direction would 80 degrees be?
Little to right, little higher.
Okay. A little above straight east, right? So let's put a little bit higher.
Sorry.
Go ahead and make a line between those two. We'll probably need that later. Make a sketch and give the compass bearing of ship A from ship B. So, okay, what they're saying is ship A to ship B, that's like an 80-degree angle. So their question is, if you're looking from ship B to ship A, what's ship A's bearing? Like from ship B's perspective.
100.
Well, ship B's angle would be like this right here. Okay.
80 minus 280.
So something that can help is like drawing. Notice I drew in the north-south lines, and if you draw in like east-west lines, these can kind of help you figure it out. So what would this, if I drew in the east-west line right here, what would this little angle right here be? 10 degrees, because it's 80 degrees from there to there, so that'd be 10 degrees of straight east, 10 degrees short of straight east. So remember, when you have parallel lines, alternate interior angles are congruent, right? So this angle would be 10 degrees right here from this east-west line. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can't zoom in anymore. So straight west is how many degrees? 270. So it's 10 degrees short of 270. So it would be 260 degree bearing. Well, you better on the evens, because it's gonna be harder to figure it out without it. Okay, number 7, aviation. An airplane flies on a course of 110 degrees at a speed of 1,200 kilometers an hour. They're adding speeds in here. All right, where is 110 degrees at? Let's go back to our picture here. It would be 20 degrees past 90, right? So it'd look about like that. So it's a little bit south of east. Let's see, it was 1,200 kilometers an hour. Okay, then it says that how far east is the plane 2 hours later? So if it's going 1,200 kilometers an hour, how far has it traveled in 2 hours? 2,400. I'm going to kind of drop that out. So this length is 2,400 kilometers. Now, is that how far east the plane has traveled? No. The east line would be this right here, right? So if we draw that in, and I draw a line down there, what have I just created? Right triangle. If I draw in the east-west line, okay, what is this angle right here? 20, because remember it was 110, so it was 20 degrees past 90. So that's a 20-degree angle. And we're looking for how far east, just only in the east direction. So we're looking for x. Now, how could we find x? SOHCAHTOA, the basic trick, because it's a right triangle. I suppose you could use law of sines, that'd be more work you need to do. So relative to the 20-degree angle, what side am I looking for? What side do I already have? I'm looking for adjacent. I have hypotenuse, that is cosine. Cut. The cut in SOHCAHTOA. So cosine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. All right, and then to solve for x, we're going to multiply by 2,400. Should x be smaller or larger than 2,400?
Smaller.
It's a little bit smaller. told us word around it. They just put 2,200. Did it come out like almost perfect or anything?
2.6.
Okay, now let's put that. Point B is 10 kilometers north of point A. Point B is 10 kilometers north of point A. And point C is 10 kilometers from point B on a bearing of 60 degrees from point B. Okay, so from point B, where is 60 degrees at? Well, 90 is east, so 60 would look kind of, now, 60 would kind of be off in that direction. 60 is like 2/3 of 90. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and draw on the northeast line and show that's or north-south line, sorry, and show that's a 60 degree angle right there. We'll probably do that later. Then C is over here somewhere, and it said it was 10 kilometers away from B. Find the bearing and distance of C from A. So it's kind of important that are we looking from A to C or C to A? We're looking from A to C, because their bearings will be different. A's bearing will be this angle right here. C's bearing would be like this angle right there. So, but anyway, we're doing A, it said. The distance of C from A, bearing and distance. So, if this is 60 right here, you guys remember your geometry skills?
Not.
What is this right here?
120.
Okay, you guys know what kind of triangle this is? Well, yes, and
Isosceles.
isosceles. Stole Lydia's thunder.
It's okay, I probably won't have said it.
You got ice. Anyway, do you know what we know about isosceles triangles?
The sides are the same.
And the base angles are the same. Isosceles triangles has two equal sides, and these angles across from them, the base angles, are also the same. So we don't have to use trig to figure this out. So if this is 120, how could I find these two angles?
180 minus 120 divided by 2.
Right, 180 minus 120 is 60, and then that gets split up into two. So 30 degrees. That will be the bearing,
How do you know it was isosceles?
because these are both
10.
10s. If we didn't know it as isosceles, we'd have to like use law of cosines or something to figure it out. The harder version. Okay, 30 degrees is our bearing, or our heading or whatever. Both use the word bearing, I think. But we also have to find out the distance right here. So how could we do that? No, Pythagorean theorem only works on right triangles. Okay, well, I would try, would law of sines work? That's what I would try first. We'll call this side B. So does sine of 120 over B equal sine of 30 over 10? Would that work?
Sure.
Yes, it would. As long as you only have one variable, that should be good. Okay, anyways, sine of 120 over side B equals sine of 30. So, I'm going to cross multiply. That'll pull B out of the denominator. And then to solve for B, I get it by itself, so I'm going to divide by sine of 30. I think I know what sine of 30 is. 1 over square root of 3. Square root of 3 over 3? That's a mess. You got 17.3 for your final answer?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is what you would plug in the calculator. Let's see if you're right. Yeah, 17.3 kilometers. Seems like you're wrong. I was thinking maybe we could get to 14. We're making such good time.
No. Thank you.
Number 11, traveling at a speed of 10 knots. Do you guys know what a knot is?
It's a little bit faster than a mile.
A knot, well, a nautical mile is like 1.1 miles. Don't ask me why they changed it, but so a knot is like 1 nautical mile an hour. It's weird. Anyways, I suppose they still use knots in ships.
Yeah, they used to use it
You
for
should
like,
know.
ships for like how many knots they have to pull down to move the sails.
Yeah.
You should know this.
Just random.
He's just smart like
He's
this.
just better than you.
Traveling at a speed of 10 knots, a ship proceeds south from its port for an hour and a half. Okay, here's port.
Did you drink any louder?
I know, I was gonna say, that's the loudest drinking I've ever heard.
Do what?
No.
Drink any louder?
I think that was the one you didn't say.
And the show promises.
Okay,
I was talking about it.
if you are going 10 knots, 10 knots, that's like nautical miles per hour. For an hour and a half, how far have you traveled?
15?
Right. So remember, distance equals rate times time. 10 knots is actually a rate. It's like miles per hour kind of thing. But 10 knots for an hour and a half, so 10 times 1.5. So they must have traveled 15 nautical miles. Okay, that was straight south. Then it says the ship changes course to 130 degrees. Okay, so where is, I'll put the dot right there. Where is the 130 degrees? Okay, here's 90.
Southeast?
So it's 40 degrees, almost southeast. Southeast would be like 135, like direct southeast. So just, you know, the picture doesn't have to be perfect. That's not really the point. I'm going to go ahead and draw in that angle right there because that would be 130 degrees. And it travels for half an hour. So if it's still going 10 knots, how far will it get in half an hour? Right. It'll 10 knots means 10 nautical miles in 1 hour. So half an hour will get half as far. That 1/2 times 10 is 5. So yeah, my picture's not very accurate right now. At this time, how far is the ship from port? How far from port is the ship? So port's where we started. The ship's, oh boy, the ship is all the way down here. So we're just looking for X. So basically we have side angle side. You guys remember what we used for side angle side?
Log cosine.
Log cosine. The side version. So that means the like c squared
A
version.
squared plus b squared minus 2 times a times b times cosine c.
Man, you guys are actually no, you're combining the two. That's it. That's it
I
right
went too far.
19.6.
No, that's where it stops right
All over 2a.
there. No.
All over 2a.
No,
No.
That's what.
Okay, the other formula, if you solve this for cosine of C, this is if you need an angle. Okay, it's kind of the same equation, just rearranged.
Dude, this formula, that
Dude,
formula
I
never
need-
works.
Oh my gosh.
It does work.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It just never
You have to
works.
carefully plug in, like, don't forget the 2, don't forget that's a minor, you gotta just make sure everything's plugged in right.
18.6.
Wrong.
I got something.
Yesterday and studied up this.
Completely different. Oh, I forgot.
So-
I read it.
It doesn't really matter which side you choose for A and B, because they're both this, so that is what you would plug in. But
Square
remember,
root.
if you get like 100 for an answer, does that make sense? No, this is like 15 and 5, this should be like 20 or something.
Oh.
So yeah,
18.
C squared equals this, so you do have to do the square root of all that.
We just plug something in the room.
What did I say?
18.6.
Oh, I was right though.
No, you weren't.
I was right.
You said 18.
Oh, it wasn't finished. You guys just cut me off.
No, I think your brain cut you off.
Okay, yeah, it is 18 points.
Dude,
How do you abbreviate nautical miles?
And
The book didn't abbreviate at all, so
Just K.
they just wrote the word nautical MI. Alright, well, we'll just